So I've been forgetting to do my dailies on my main toon. So just for a bit of fun, you can just watch, play along. I better log in and do some of the stuff I have been neglecting the last few days. So this is Marina, hop on toon, big ship, lots going on. If you're watching the tutorials and then all the missions from the start, this is where you're going to end up, probably. So
I expect you to be.
Get out of those missions there. And yeah, I need to get into these events. I'm a couple of days behind. Let's see if we can play catch up. I'm just going to join the Lupita Erratus TFO, pick up 2 points. Doesn't take too long. The Borg resurgence is about to begin. How cool is that?
To steal scientific, engage their ships when we've been working on a new. Finally, if they...
So I'm just skipping through all of that. I've done these before, and it's just for fun, guys. If you're watching the lower level missions, you cannot do the reputation just yet. I need to catch up with my dailies here. 22 seconds before we need to concentrate on this mission. So what can we do? We'll do a little upgrade here.
Here they come. All ships, battle stations.
A welcoming committee. You shouldn't have. We're just here for your data. Hand it over and nobody will get hurt.
That'll be the day. All ships, engage the Terran fleet.
Alrighty, where have they gone?
Believe that.
Enterprise, Defiant, take some ships and take her down. The rest of you, stay alert. This isn't over yet. I'm picking up more ships through the rifts. Close it if you can. Activate the holo projectors. Let's hope they get the job done. Defend the holo projectors as best you can. We've got hostiles on the station.
Now I noticed that the game has altered my tray down here. It does that from time to time if you swap toons or just because it feels like it. That's okay. We don't need to worry about it. What have we got? 5, 4, 3, 2. We need to get 1 down the bottom here. There she is. Okay.
We've got hostiles on the station. They're breaching our systems. Rifts aren't going to close themselves. You need to clear out the ships at Jupiter Station. You need to get those rifts under control.
I notice here, I believe there's been a spelling mistake in the mission. It's called Lupita. The actual station's called Jupiter. But it could be wrong. Now we need to stop these guys stealing the data here. It's quite
We've
important.
got hostiles on the station. They're breaching our systems.
So I'll go in and do this while other people are attacking the enemy in other places.
Those rifts aren't going to close themselves.
Let's deal with all these people around the station. Now at this level, I don't need to pick up things or drops. They're probably things that are not important to me. Obviously, at the lower levels, we are doing in the early story arcs. We're going to pick up everything we can. We can use it to improve our abilities and sell to gain some energy credits, in-game currency there.
You need to get those rifts under control.
I just love my ship. Proteus splits into two, look. One becomes a self-attacking ship.
You need to get those rifts under control.
I watched part 2 of Menagerie from the original series last night. Wonderful, wonderful, as I say, one of my favourite episodes.
Hostiles on the station. They're breaching our systems.
A real, it's what they call a human story. It's pretty cool.
Those rifts aren't going to close themselves.
It's like slightly overshot that one.
We've locked down the projectors.
But somebody else got it, that's fine.
You still here, Grandma? Ugh, I thought our Janeway was annoying. Speaking of annoying, did you like the little back door I put in your station?
We did.
Enterprise is back near projector base.
So now we have to kill off, or at least chase off,
Shield vessels are negating your attacks on
the Terran Empire Mirrorverse Enterprise with Captain Tilly.
Don't even try to catch me.
So basically we've got to follow her around, see where she goes. She uses cloaks.
The Enterprise is near projector Gamma.
You kids have fun now.
The Enterprise is going for projector Alpha.
I'll just send my fighter ships to go in and attack independently, so they can also hunt down the other ships that are protecting the Enterprise. They need to be taken out before we can get a clean shot. You'll notice Enterprise has a big shield around it. These support vessels are helping charge that up, so we take them out, and as soon as we can,
Don't even try to catch me.
set to about the Enterprise once that shield goes down. Let's try and guess where she's going to turn up. There she is. Now I'm going to loiter around the Enterprise this time while the other ships
Well done. We set the
take
Terran
down the
souls to
smaller
listen.
ships so that we can
You
get
intend to test us.
fire on us
Be prepared
straight
for the
away when that shield
consequences.
goes down. And
Hopefully their Emperor will listen to that message.
there she goes.
But I wouldn't hold my breath.
Thank you, Janeway. Our work here is done. We'll leave this this TFO. Make sure it shows in our daily, which it will do. There we go. So we're a few behind here, but we're going to keep chasing that old dragon. Also, I just need to make sure these reputations are kept going, because they're things that happen even when you're offline. And it's important to keep going to get these all up to level 6. Of course, important depends on if it's important to you, if you're going to use these reputation systems to buy slightly better gear. Once you get to level 65, you'll probably find that you've actually got better gear already than these things, but they do help you on your way. Finish our R&D here. I'm trying to get science up to 20. I don't know why. It's just something I feel like doing. We can then get better quality science equipment, consoles. Beams, as I've said before, was my priority, but we've already got there. Here we can produce hopefully some better quality deflectors and other items that we can sell on the exchange. First off, we need to make sure we've got all the components. And we've already got somebody producing some components for us, so maybe we'll build some beams. They're fairly easy to sell online. We've got up to level 20, which means, look at that, our chances of rare is very high. We're still missing some components here, so we'll well, we need to build something here, but we don't have enough dilithium. I haven't refined any for a while, so let's just do that. Refine dilithium there. Alrighty, so we got a fair bit. So now we can create a couple of these. Done. Admiralty, let's see what our ships have been doing out there. They've been off on their missions. Looks like they've all been successful, which if we're careful, they'll always be successful. Unless, of course, you've got some spare ships and you decide to take a chance. I'm moving up here, as I've said before, to get the Romulan reputations, because I can get some universal upgrades to upgrade some gear, or we can sell those upgrades. They look quite chunky. Do we think we can get 170? No, most will do is about 150. So there's no point doing that mission. I'm actually going to, what's the reward? The reward is a lot of materials. It's worth doing, but we just don't have the ships available at the moment. So we'll come down, look at another one, take this one out. Also, on these missions, I'm not going to explain every detail. We're going through that on the lower level tutorials. and this is just me doing a little bit of housekeeping, if you like, just to keep this high level toon doing its thing. We don't want it to be missing out because we're doing the lower level missions. Doing that. One of the reasons, although it's as high as it can go, one of the reasons I think is that eventually the game will say there are so many people on level 65, we're going to need to give the older players a little bit more to do, or a little bit more reason for doing it, and that will be in the form of some kind of ranks or leveling up, I would imagine, at some stage. But we wait to see. It's all very well having all these little side things to do, but you need content, and they do introduce content on a regular basis, but sometimes not fast enough for people who have been playing this for a long time. It may be a month or two in between some new content, and you can do the content pretty much in one sitting in an hour or even less sometimes, and then you're sitting waiting again. But that's okay. There's loads and loads and loads of other things to do, and of course you can always make a new toon, start from the beginning again, and play all those missions that you've forgotten all about. It's a bit like doing the tutorials I'm doing. I don't remember everything about the missions, so it's still a lot of fun going back 10, 13 years and saying, hey, I remember this was a cool mission. What do we need in here? And again, at this level, I'm not being as selective about the missions I would do or what the rewards are. They're just secondary to getting the points and working my way towards the target of getting my upgrades and things. And you have to keep plugging away so that every so often a tour of duty will come up. Alrighty, this is all grayed out, so I've got a maximum amount of missions going on. Duty officers aren't doing anything for us, so let's get our duty officers doing some work as well. As I've said before, it depends on if you're aiming for a certain target on some reputation or awards or skill levels. For various types of things. I can't get to it from here. But in here, let's see, is it in here? No, it's not. I'll find a way of getting to it later. So again, at high level, you're not going to read everything. It's more immersive when you first start playing, but eventually these missions here become fairly mundane button pushing. But they all give us rewards of some sort, whether it be XP or EC for the credits. And we need to keep those things topping up, especially the energy credits, which is our money. And if you save really hard, instead of using your credit card to buy some Zen, you can use your energy credits. So, for instance, if you wanted to buy a really, really good ship that was a drop box ship, you could spend a lot of money on Zen trying to get that. Or you wait for somebody else to get it and put it on the exchange. And some of these ships go for extortionate amount of money, like we're talking $1 billion. But if you've got the energy credits, why not? It's a supply and demand. Obviously, people will say, hey, that's really expensive, yada, yada, but you don't have to buy it. I've spent lots of stuff, probably this year, lots of energy credits buying various items. So I've only got 50 million or 49 million and a bit in the bank. And we'll just build that up. I haven't worried about it too much. I'm not. I haven't produced a lot of stuff to sell in an exchange. Don't really need the money or the equipment. But it's another part of people's games. You'll get somebody who will play the exchange. Holy hell! I've got to sort my inventory out, and they will buy something cheap to sell it expensive. For instance, I think a couple of days ago, we looked at selling a phaser that we owned that the cost was about, or the value was about 2,000 or 3,000. We sold it for 40. When we did that, we noticed some people were selling that same item for $1 million, but the next cheapest was 50,000. So you could play the game of, say, if there was only one at 50,000 and all of the rest were $1 million, you can buy the one at 50,000. You will easily sell it for 200,000 and make 4 times the amount of credits. You may even just tag it at just under $1 million. However, that item was not worth $1 million, so sometimes people are in their own little world, I think. So let's have a look through our inventory here. We've got our dailies to do. I'm not going to do these ones for endeavors because I want to get on with the story arcs that we are going through. But first off, while I'm here, I'm running out of inventory space. You'll notice I've got a lot more than I had on the lower level toons. It's because I've either bought some or I've been lucky enough to find freebies from time to time online that give us extra inventory spaces. So you keep your eye out on social media pages like Facebook or MeWe or Reddit, and sometimes people will put a link up that allows you to sign up, obviously to subscribe to somebody's spam mail, but then you get a code to get the freebies. It's worth it for a spam email. You can always unsubscribe or just leave it there so the next time they do a Star Trek giveaway, you'll get notified before other people. Maybe you'll post it online. Swings and roundabouts. Share the love, pass it forward. All right, what do we got? Building materials. We'll just take all of these. Pretty good here. Look, we got 500,000 in energy credits in one go, plus this, plus this. So we've got 5, 6, 7.8 of a million, bit more there. We've nearly got $1 million in energy credits, or 1 million energy credits, not dollars, just for doing some missions. Yeah, I'm just going to clean this up. What have we got here? Now I've got a lot of equipment. I don't need it, so I'm stashing it away. Probably more just so that I can see how many things I can stash away. I don't know, maybe I'll go in one day and spend time opening all the boxes, seeing what's in there, if there's anything I can sell in there. Now, just for now, I'm going to leave all the stuff I can't use or don't want to use while I just tidy all of this up. Because then I might pop on the exchange and sell anything I can do. I've been making stuff, as you saw, in R&D, mainly to get the extra level up points, but they are sellable. Might stick them on the exchange. Sometimes you'll get some rewards from a mission and they come in a box. When you get high level, just make sure you know which ones you need. Into the reputation here, I still need Gamma, Competition, Lucari, Temporal, and Delta. So they're the ones I want to choose. I'm going to go for Delta because it's high up the list and I keep forgetting to do that one. Here we have an epic prize pack. So let's see how epic it is. Not quite as epic as the non-epic, I don't think. Well, we do get 100 usable marks there. And again, I'll take that on Delta. Now, because I do a lot of TFOs, especially when I'm doing these endeavors, I do tend to collect a lot of boxes. Now, that's something I got from a mission. It's a coupon to get a free level 6 ship. It's bound to my account. Now, if I wanted to, I could drag that to one of my other characters and allow them to get a level 6 ship. This character doesn't actually need any more level 6 ships. But for instance, if I wanted to, say, go a different route with this character and do some more attacking style fighting, I could actually go in and use that to buy a escort, which is a much faster, much more maneuverable ship than our cruiser. Maybe I'll do that. I'm going to leave that sitting there. But also I can get a T5 look. Probably won't use the T5 at this level, so that may get shifted to another toon. So here we're picking up lots of building materials, crafting for our R&D. While I'm doing this, if you are watching, please do click follow. If you're watching this once we get to upload it to YouTube, please subscribe to find out when I'm on, what I'm doing, what missions are going on. Now, none of this really is particularly useful to unbox. We have lots of materials here, but it is filling our inventory up. So we're going to do one of two things. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to click on these buttons to hide the bound to account or character items. So anything that is unbound is sellable. So I'm going to pop along to the exchange, which is actually right behind me, and look at selling some stuff. So we've looked briefly, or actually quite in depth in a tutorial at the exchange. Don't need that. Need our inventory. So start from the top, start from the bottom. As I say, when you're selling stuff, the best thing to do is to find out what other people are selling it for. So I want to sell this graviton deflector. It's a green level item. It may not be worth selling. It's got a value of 24,000. Sometimes people sell these things cheap. It does help lower level players. So we're looking for green quality, and it's called graviton deflector. So we'll type in grav for now, hit the return button. Now this is a level 12. So these ones, there's a level 12 there. Somebody is actually selling it for 6,000. So it's got a value of 8,000 there. Our one has a value of 24,000. That's quite interesting. So ours is slightly different. We'll notice there we've got a 8.8 hull capacity improvement, 26.2 starship control, and 26.2 starship brain. And why is ours different to this one? Because this one only has 26.2 starship control expertise. That's why it's cheap. So what we'll do, we'll go up to the better quality ones. Again, not quite as good as ours, but different. So you're seeing here, look, that one's very similar to ours. It's selling for 13,000. No point putting it on the exchange. So we're going to just discard it, and we'll just take the energy credits that it's worth. So these ones here are lower level that we've made. There's going to be no point in selling them. I'm going to salvage them to get some of the components back. We originally made them purely to help with our XP levels on building science equipment in research and development. Anything that's a common item, we just get rid of. Personal shield, Mark 5 green. They are selling at, look, 2,000. We can actually dump it and get the same amount of money. Usually on the exchange, I won't bother selling anything below a rare. Sometimes even below very rare, depending what the item is. But sometimes there are things that you've made or you have that people just can't get. So I'm going to just salvage some of this stuff until we find something worth selling. Of course, if we're doing the exchange and we've decided we only want to sell certain level gear, we can just highlight that particular stuff. But we see here there's actually not much that we want to sell. I keep a large stock of weapons because when we're doing personal endeavors, I mentioned this in a tutorial, sometimes an endeavor like here is to do a lot of polaron damage. Now if it on the ground you only need one polaron weapon, so you don't need to keep more than one of those. But in space, in order to quickly fulfill that endeavor, if that was polaron damage in space, I would equip all 4 of these, or maybe more. in order to just whop that out really quick. Probably doing it, if you put all of these polar on, you'd probably end up doing it literally in 10 seconds. Sometimes it's 500,000 damage, which may take you more than one mission. So again, you'll work that out as you go along. So the only thing here I really think I want to sell is this deflector that's a Mark 11 with various attributes. So we'll change this to match the color of very rare. Was that very rare? It was very rare. And we'll go back in and do our search for Graviton deflector. So what are we? We are level 10. So these are 1s and 2s. We just click the next button until we get up to some level 10s. These are level 12, look, going for 900,000. Level 5 is going for 400,000. There's 12 there. 400,000. Another one, 500,000. And again, they've got fairly similar stats. But when something's worth 38,000 and you're selling it for 500,000, it's worth the sale. So we know that we need to be selling it probably for around about this level here, maybe slightly higher. We've got slightly better stats than that. But if we want to sell it, and people will generally just look at the mark and they won't look at the other stats. For instance, under the name, it's got some things in brackets. Each of those do different things, obviously. Control, expertise, the hull cap, you can increase your strength on your hull, things like that. This one here allows us to increase the shield capacity. Now you notice on this one, the first item of Control X has a ×2, an X2, which means it's twice as good as if it just had the Control X. And we really only have the single Control X there, so we're not going to get 400. So it's going to go for about 300. If we put it on at 300, somebody's going to choose one or the other. And we want it to be ours. So what we'll do is we'll put it on for 295. Now, it's a bit like a sale or a Black Friday day sale. It's just a little bit cheaper, and people like a little bit cheaper. So chances are we'll sell this before the other ones sell. I just noticed we were in Mark 11 there. That's okay. Nothing else here I'm particularly bothered about selling. So I'll come out of the exchange. We will reset that. And what we'll do is we'll just show the really low level stuff. We don't want the low level stuff, so we will get rid of it. It's a shame the game doesn't allow you to select multiple options. So we have to go in one at a time. Things we can't use. Now these are equipment, storage. These are things we use on missions that we're going to put in our inventory. We don't need to store them here. Our away team uses things like this. I don't use mines myself, so I'll get rid of that anyway. Now these are weapons. Again, I keep the weapons in case I need to do an endeavor. that uses a certain type of weapon, as I said, polaron or phaser or whatever. Simple consoles. Again, you can drag these to your lower level toons. For instance, if I wanted to help out on the tutorials and the walkthroughs I'm doing, I could pull these across, but I'm not going to, because I'm going to do all those missions purely on pickups or drops. I'm not actually going to buy anything. I'm not going to have anyone or one of my toons pass over any equipment. We keep these tags. They get used by duty officers, away teams and things like that. Okay, so maybe we want to get rid of rare items that we're not going to use. At this level, you'll probably find that you most of your stuff is either ultra rare or what we're aiming for is epic. Notice on our ship here, these are all gold colors. They're all epic, which is top end weapons. So once you've got these, you're not going to use lower end stuff unless, as I say, it's for an endeavor. So once we've sold anything we want to sell, we want to shift this stuff we don't need into the bank. We want our inventory to be as clean as possible, so we don't have to worry about if we can pick things up. Now that's our mail. While I'm here, I'll do the mail stuff. We've tried to sell, it didn't sell. It's sent back to us. Now you cannot delete an email if it's got something in it, which is a shame because you may not actually want this, but you've got to take it. If you don't take it, you can't delete these emails. Now these are things on the exchange. It expired, it didn't sell. Not surprised. So we delete those emails, hop back into our inventory and delete those items. You can put them back on the exchange, try and sell them, but it seems that nobody wants them. So hey, that's not a bad shield. Nobody wanted it. So we get rid of that. What's this here? Don't need that. And these tried to sell them because I couldn't use them on my ship. Maybe I'll put them on a different ship. Right, so actually we were heading to the bank, not email, and that's email too. So we have to go and find out where the bank is, and be nice if it was actually in the exchange. As that's where you are most likely to need it. So we're going to our bank. Now on this toon, I have a lot of stuff stashed away. Stuff I don't necessarily need, like I've got loads and loads of all of these things. I can get rid of them. Bit of a hoarder, I'm afraid. So anything we want to put over here, as I said in the tutorial, we can drag it or we can just double click. So I just go along the top, double clicking. It's not actually filling our inventory up any more than it was because I already have these items. It's just that the numbers are going up. So probably when you get to 1,000 of something, you actually don't need all of those. You could sell some on the exchange, but they are used in missions, so I'm keeping them. What else? I'll tuck that away. We've got an experimental ship upgrade token that is used when you get to high level ships. I'll hang on to that. We'll put the tags away. Batteries, batteries, batteries. Some more turrets. These things you use, you equip them on your ship in a device slot, such as here, but I'm not using that equipment because I've got all epic stuff here. So I don't know why I'm keeping them. But when you use them on the lower levels before you get your epic stuff, they actually drop phaser satellites when you click on them, and they will help you fight the enemy off. Inventory's full. Oh no! My inventory is full. We cannot have any more of these things. So unless it's something we've already got, we can't put it in here. I'll sort this inventory out, or this bank out, at a later date. Again, much more exciting and important things to do. So we just stash away things we can stash away. If we can't stash it away, we can't. Some of these items are used in R&D for your building or constructing weapons and stuff. Alrighty, so anything that is left here, we either need to decide we want it and we're going to use it, or we need to junk it. This is our account bank. We can put things in our account bank if there is room for it. Now, the account bank is stuff that you can give to other characters that you're playing, like your lower level toons. Now, for instance, I could come into the account bank on my low level toon with the going through the missions, pick up these phaser satellites and batteries and stuff, but I'm not going to do that, as I said. So you can actually use this as some extra storage. You can buy more slots for it. Cost you 1,000 Zen for 10 more slots, and eventually it can look as big as this. So if you are a hoarder and you want to store a lot of stuff, get yourself some more slots in your account bank. So it's all full. What are we going to do? First thing we can do, we can now sort this all out by clicking sort. It'll put all of our weapons in the right order next to weapons of a similar type. And it'll move other things so they're easy to find. It always puts all your boxes at the bottom. So if you've actually used stuff in your inventory and you end up with some gaps, when you pick up drop boxes, they start at the top and fill the gaps and can get lost or hard to see. You know, the wood for the trees thing. So if you sort them, all the boxes go to the bottom. And we've already cleared our boxes out. All of these ones, I've actually got holographic original Star Trek officers here that I picked up as a gift pack, I think, somewhere. I haven't decided if I'm going to use them yet. This comes down to is my holographic Uhura going to be better than one of my bridge officers I already have? So you can either do it for sentimental value, or if you're going to be logical, make sure that the officer is better than the one you already have, because in order to use, say, all of these original series bridge officers, I have to fire some of these ones, and they've been pretty good to me. So hence I've just left them in storage for now. Maybe at a later date I'll do that. They're actually bound to your character, so I cannot say swap them out and put them on another toon. which is a shame because it would have been nice to have a total crew of original series characters and use an original series Constellation class cruiser. But alas, it's not happening. So my inventory is still pretty full. It's plenty of space though because I've bought the extra slots to pick things up. And as I like to keep these weapons here, I could have put all these weapons for endeavors into one of the banks, but if I do that, I then have to go into the bank each time to drag them out to do the endeavors, and nobody wants to do that. That's a pain. So what else am I going to do when I'm down here? Probably nothing. I've sorted my daily tasks out. I've refined my dilithium. I've sorted my inventory out. I've sold a couple of things. So there is nothing else I need to do in here that's critical for the day. Personally, you'll probably be going to want to pick up these daily endeavors so you can spend some points and increase some stats. I'm not too worried about that at this stage. As I say, I'd rather get back on with doing the walkthroughs for the tutorials and that lower level toon that I have made to help us all out. So I'm going to say, if you're watching this, thanks for watching. I'm going to log this character out now. We're going to come back with our lower level toon and carry on with our, I think it's Romulan mystery is the story arc. So if you give me a couple of minutes, I'll swap a toon, I'll come back. Please click follow. That's the easy way to know when I'm back, although it will only be a few minutes. And if you're watching on YouTube, of course, subscribe. Thank you very much. I'm Sean. I am beaming out for a second.